Hi. Hello there. Let's see. Today we're going to be doing some gentle yoga class or some gentle yoga movements. So it's not going to be a traditional Vinyasa flow. It's going to be slowed down a lot, and we're going to really concentrate on more restorative poses and gentler forms of the normal Vinyasa postures. So it's really great for people who are dealing with injury, general muscle fatigue, and maybe some joint pain, arthritis, that sort of thing. So this is definitely more for you guys. And if you're able-bodied and feel pretty healthy, this is just a really good way to have a nice slow practice as well. So it is for everybody. Honey is going to be doing it with us. So we'll get started. You're going to need basically all props that you can get. So if you want to get a blanket, something that emulates a strap, if you don't have a strap, so that could be another blanket, because we're going to basically hold on to it like this. And then we're also going to need two things that are emulating a yoga block. So that could be a book, like a tall book like this. Honey's right here. She wants to say hi. Two things that emulate a yoga block, and so that could be a book or a foam roller. And then the last thing you'll need is a couple pillows. And lumbar pillows are really good for that for this class. So those are really long, skinny ones. But you definitely want to make sure that they're more on the firm side versus the cushy side. So we'll get started. We're gonna sit on our mat in either a cross-legged position or on our knees. If you're sitting on your knees, have something to put underneath. Have something to put underneath your sit bones in between your legs like this. If you're sitting on your or on a cross-legged position, you're going to want to have something underneath your butt like this, so that your hips are above your knees. So right now my knees, you can kind of, I'll turn to the side so you can see. My hips are actually above my knees right now. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna do this class of this is hysterical. Okay, so we're gonna start in a seated position like this, and really this is just to start with some breathing exercises to slow down a little bit, to calm the mind, to sort of let go of whatever else you have going on today, either before this class or after. So the one thing that I do want you to have is whatever you're using as a strap nearby. So I have this, it's literally the thing that wraps around my yoga mat. You could also use a blanket and just like roll it up into a long blanket that way. We're going to start seated, cross-legged or on our knees. And then just rest your palms face down on top of your thighs. And go ahead and close your eyes. And then take this moment to start to notice the breath. And then maybe pulling all of your awareness to your body. And specifically how it feels right in this moment. If you're dealing with injury or pain or fatigue or anything like that, just taking some time to notice where that's sort of sitting right now and where you feel that in your body, and making a mental note so that when we are flowing through this practice, you're noticing how that changes, how that may feel, how those sort of sensations come up in the practice, and how whatever like posture that you're in that moment, if you're feeling that sort of like pain or whatever it is, uncomfortability exceed itself, that's definitely a sign that you want to back off and that you want to take it a little bit easier. So this is a perfect time to just make a sort of mental note of all of those areas in your body that are feeling tight or uncomfortable or painful, and just to keeping them in the back of your head throughout practice. So having the eyes closed, start to deepen your breath in and out through the nose. So maybe you count upwards to 5 or 4. With each inhale and exhale, dragging them out as long as you can. And then with each inhale, seeing how much you can expand through the belly and the chest and the rib cage. So we're breathing through the belly rather than through like the top of our chest. And then with each exhale, seeing how much you can squeeze out and compress. And sometimes I like to take my one of my hands to my belly to just sort of feel that that expanding sensation. And make yourself, it really just allows you to pull all of your awareness and make yourself as most present as possible. Continuing to breathe deeply through the nose and out the nose. Let's take one big inhale through the nose together on the count of 7. So we're dragging this out to 7 counts. Take an inhale breath. And then just exhale out the mouth everything that you've got. And now we inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale everything out the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale out the mouth. Last time here. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale out the mouth. Slowly open your eyes. And then start to take your right ear to your right shoulder. So we're opening up the neck here. And then just start to tip your head a little bit forward and a little bit back. So we're opening up the left side of the neck. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Just slow, gentle movements to open up the left side of the neck. On your next inhale, return your head to a center position. On the inhale breath, see if you can reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling and sit up a little bit straighter. So press down into the sit bones of your butt, into whatever pillow you have, and then suck your low belly in. So sit up a little bit taller. And then on your exhale, tip your left ear to your left shoulder. We're opening up the right side of the neck. And then maybe you start to tip your head a little bit forward and a little bit back. We're not doing full neck rolls because that's actually not super great for your cervical spine and the connection point between your the base of your skull and C1. So we're just doing sort of gentle neck openers here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. One more breath here. And then just come up to center. Return your neck to its neutral position. Again, we want to find a little bit of length here. So sit up a little bit straighter, pull the low belly in. And if you're sitting cross-legged, switch the cross of the legs here. And then go ahead and grab your strap or whatever you're using as a strap, could be a blanket. And we're going to take it out and in either hand like this. So what we're moving towards is eventually these shoulder rolls where we can go all the way back and all the way forward. So take it to a wide enough place, wide enough stance on or position on the strap where you can go all the way backwards. pretty comfortably. So we're going to grab grab each end of the strap with a blanket, and we're going to start with it in front of our, on top of our thighs. As we inhale, start to pull it up towards your head, up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, drop it behind you, all the way back down to your glutes. Inhale, up overhead, and then exhale, drop it down to your thighs. Inhale it up overhead. Exhale, drop it behind you. Inhale overhead. Exhale, drop it in front. And maybe now you start to shorten the position of your hands on the strap. So shorten that length. Inhale up overhead. And then exhale, drop it behind you. Inhale overhead. Seeing if you can keep those arms as straight as possible, overhead or over to the front. Inhale up. And then exhale behind you. Inhale overhead. And exhale behind you. Release the strap out of the way. And then on your inhale breath, sit as tall as you can. So reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then even like take the palms of your hands and pull into your knees so that you can almost pull your chest through your shoulders and pull it forward. So sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale breath. And then as you exhale, take your left hand over to your left knee and reach your right arm up towards, take your left hand over to your right knee. Left hand over to your right knee. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then place it on the ground behind you, right at your right glute cheek. And then we're twisting our collarbones are broadened and we're twisting our shoulders open to the side of the room. Take an inhale breath. Reach your crown of the head, reach the crown of your head a little bit higher, sit up a little bit taller. And then as you exhale, sink into that twist. Pull your knee, using your hand, pull your knee in towards using the strength of your hand, just pull out your knee and then press your knee into your palm. So you're creating a little bit of opposite resistance here. Inhale and exhale. And then as you inhale, start to make your way back to center. Take an inhale breath, find a little bit of more length in that spine. Sit up a little bit taller. And then take the right hand over to the left knee. So I'm fully on opposite side of you, but that's okay. And then take the left arm up in space, reach up as high as you can. And then exhale, bring it behind you. Just set your fingertips at your, right at the base of your spine. And then we're opening up our shoulders and our collarbone towards the side of the room. We're pulling into that knee to start to create some resistance and just help guide the twist a little bit deeper. And each time you inhale, seeing if you can sit up even higher, even straighter. And then as you exhale, we're sinking a little bit more into that twist. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, slowly start to return to center. We're going to come off whatever you're sitting on. Sorry, honey. And then we're going to meet in tabletop pose. So tabletop is where you are stacking your shoulders. I gotta find my notes here. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists, and your hips are right over your knees. So we're on hands and knees in a tabletop pose. On the inhale breath, drop your low belly down towards the mat, pull your chest through your shoulders, and tip your chin up towards the ceiling. On the exhale breath, we tuck our tailbone down towards our heels, pull the low belly in, round the upper back, puff up the upper back by pressing firmly into the palms of your hands, and then tuck your chin towards your chest. On the inhale, we drop the belly low, take the tailbone up towards the ceiling, pull the chest through the shoulders, and then tip your chin up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale breath, we round and curl. Puff the upper back, tuck the chin to the chest, take the tailbone down towards the mat. Inhale, drop the belly low, lift the tailbone towards the ceiling, chest comes through the shoulders, and look up.
And then exhale, round and curl. And then on your next inhale breath, we're going to come to a neutral spine, back to that tabletop pose. Start to tuck the toes underneath you, and then just sit back onto your heels ever so slightly. Then we're going to take the palms of our hands and flip our fingertips, flip the palms and the fingertips so that they're facing, palms facing down, and our fingertips are facing out towards the sides of our mat. So my fingers or my hands are like this, facing the side of the mat, the sides of the room. And we're just warming up the toes, and or like any sort of Achilles issues, just keep your the tops of your feet on the mat. Just skip the toe part. And then we're going to flip our palms so that or flip our hands so that our fingers are facing our knees. So this is a little bit of a deeper variation of this. And as you can see, I came back up in the tabletop just to start. And then you can start to sort of sit back a little bit further and just open up those forearms and the wrists. Just take a deep breath here. And then exhale, release. Return those palms back towards just like a normal position with our fingertips facing forward. And then I'm just going to sit a little bit further back on my heels, and I'm going to totally flip my hands so that the tops of my hands are on the mat. I'm going to untuck my toes here so that I have just a little bit more stability. And so both of my my palms or my fingertips are facing my knees, and the tops of my hands are on the mat. So this is sort of the opposite direction of we just went. Take an inhale breath here. And then exhale, release. We're going to come up to standing on our knees. You may want to grab a blanket here. Honey, I'm sorry, you got to move. Come on, sorry. So you may want a blanket here to have your knees resting on. And we're just going to come to standing on our knees. So we're here. We're going to reach our arms overhead. Actually, I'm going to turn to face you here. We're going to reach our arms overhead like this. And I want you to take, rather than having your like biceps by your ears, see if you can drop the shoulders down and just relax the shoulders and your shoulder blades down towards your sit bones. So we're just pulling our shoulder blades down, but we're still reaching our arms up towards the ceiling. We're taking our thumbs towards the back of the room, and our palms are facing one another. Grab your left wrist, reach your right arm up. So sort of like pull your, grab your left wrist, pull your left arm up, and then start to tip over to the right side. So we're creating this sort of side body stretch here on the left side. And we're really pulling that wrist and that arm over to the other side. So we're creating that space on the side body. Inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, return to center. Grab the opposite wrist, reach your arm up towards the ceiling, and tip over in the other direction. Take an inhale breath here. Feel the opening in that side body. Exhale, release. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. So you should really feel this all along here. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. Take your hands and clasp them behind your back. If you have any shoulder issues, just be careful here. If this really is uncomfortable, then just take your hands clasped in front of you and then take them up towards the ceiling with your palms facing up. But if this is comfortable on your shoulders, clasp your hands behind your back, stretch your arms out straight, and then start to tip your chest up towards the ceiling. And a lot of the times we start to bend into the back here, pull the low belly in, squeeze the glutes, and take the tailbone down towards the mat and pull the ribs together. So really just trying, like somebody has a string attached to our sternum, we're just trying to pull our sternum up towards the ceiling, and then maybe we slightly look up. So really squeeze those glutes here. Take the frontal hip bones up towards your shoulders in that direction, and just stretch your shoulders open. Take one more inhale breath here, and then exhale, release. We're coming into child's pose. So take your knees wider than your mat. I'll move you out of the way again, honey. And then start to take your toes together and then start to walk your, it's ridiculous. Start to walk your hands out towards the front of your mat. You're sinking back onto your hips, and then you're resting your forehead either on the mat or on a block or a pillow. So our arms are in a number 11. Our palms are firmly planted into the mat. Our fingertips are spread wide. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, slowly start to rise back up in the tabletop pose. I'm going to take this blanket out of the way. So we're in tabletop pose. Start to walk your hands out towards the front of the mat, maybe just another 6 inches so you're sort of more in this position. Tuck your back toes under, lift your knees off of the ground and start to straighten up the legs as much as you can. At the same time, dropping your chest towards your thighs and then dropping the heels towards the mat. They don't have to reach there. This is downward facing dog. They don't have to fully reach the mat, but just try to extend them in that direction. Keep a soft bend into the knees. Take your fingers as wide as possible. So spread your fingers wide, press firmly into the palms so that you get a little bit lighter in the wrists. And then you can sort of extend your hips up higher in space through that energy direction. Take an inhale breath through the nose. Start to pedal 1 foot at a time. So bending one knee at a time, taking one heel at a time down towards the mat. We're just opening up the calves. And then roll the biceps up towards the ceiling and roll your triceps down towards the mat. So we're trying to take our biceps up towards the ceiling rather than like this odd direction that and we're trying to engage the straightest anterior muscles in this posture rather than just sinking into the shoulders. Take one more inhale breath and exhale out. On the inhale breath, you're going to step your right foot up towards into the center of your palms, so towards the front of your mat in between your hands, and then start to drop the left knee back. And you may again want a blanket. I'm sorry, honey, I have to shift you off of this again. So you may want a blanket again underneath your knee. So we're in this low lunge position. Where our hip is right over our knee and the front knee is right over the ankle. So we're in low lunge here. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale, start to straighten that front leg by sitting back further into, further back towards your mat, and then release the heel and flex the foot. So the heel is on the mat, and you actually I would recommend getting whatever you're using as blocks, so that maybe the book or the foam roller, and having your hands up onto these bolsters. So essentially what we're doing is we're just raising the floor up to meet our hands so that we're not hunched over like this. We want to try to keep that flat spine. So my right leg is forward, and it's just like this super nice hamstring stretch. The more you flex your toes or you flex your feet and pull your toes back, the more you're going to feel it in the calf. So this is like a nice hamstring stretch. So notice that I'm fully upright and I'm not like bending over or sinking into this. I'm not like, so I want to just stay as upright as possible here. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can start to wiggle the heel further to the top of your mat to straighten that front leg a little bit more. And I notice that my knee is still a little bit bent because my hamstrings are not very open today. So we want to maintain that long, flat spine. And then drop the right hip down a little bit further towards the mat. Take an inhale breath. And then bend back into that right knee. We're going to remove whatever props you have out of the way on the right hand. And then if you want to keep the one on the left hand, we're going to find a twist. So place the left palm onto the mat or onto that prop. And then we're going to reach our right arm up towards the ceiling and face our shoulders. Our collarbone and our shoulders are turning to face the right or the side of the room. So we're in this low lunge twist. Take an inhale breath here. Reach your right arm even higher in space. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. One more breath, inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. This time we're taking a twist in the opposite direction. So I'm gonna turn my left knee, shin and my foot in towards the center of the mat, towards the right side of the mat. And then I'm gonna take my right palm and place it on a block or the mat on the inside of my right foot. And I'm twisting in the opposite direction. So I'm taking my shoulders and my torso and I'm spinning it to the left side of the mat. And then I'm gonna reach my left arm up towards the ceiling. This is a modified side angle. And I really do appreciate something like a bolster here so that I can really find length and extension into the spine. And then use like the outside of your arm to press into that inside edge of your knee. And then your knee is pressing into your elbow. So you're sort of creating this like opposite resistance. And that you can start to feel that in your inner groin right here. That's where you should definitely be feeling this one. And then a twist, of course, in the spine. Take an inhale breath. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, start to release. We're coming back into that low lunge. And then we're gonna pull our right foot and our right leg back so that we're on our knees again. And then we're gonna start to walk our hands out towards the front of our mat and scoot our legs back, coming onto our forearms and lowering the hips down. So this is Sphinx pose. I want you to pull your elbows so that they're right underneath your shoulders. I'm gonna turn so you can see this a little bit more. The tops of the feet are planted firmly onto the mat and press your pubic bone in towards the mat as well. Squeeze the thighs so that your kneecaps are lifted off of the mat. And your arms are in a number 11. So your elbows are right below your shoulders, and then your wrists are in line with your elbows as well. Your fingers are spreading wide. And then you're just using, you're sort of pulling back on your palms and your arms, your forearms and your palms, you're pulling backwards towards your chest and using that sort of resistance and that momentum to reach your chest forward and create this gentle back bend. So squeeze the glutes together, squeeze the thighs, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and press the pubic bone into the mat as well. Take the tailbone down towards your heels. So I'm squeezing my glutes. My whole butt and both of my legs are fully engaged right now. And I'm dragging my palms and my forearms back towards my elbows, back towards my chest. And I'm just looking straight forward. I'm not looking up. I just have a neutral neck here. Take an inhale breath. Exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. We're going to start to release. Come back onto your knees. Press into the forearms to come back on your knees. Cool. So that was one side. We're going to move into the next side now. So tuck your back toes under. Walk your hands out a little bit further towards the mat or to the front of the mat. Lift your knees, lift your hips. Press your chest through back to your thighs. Downward facing dog. Your heels come down towards the mat. We have a soft bend in the knees. Our low belly is pulling in towards the back of our spine. Our ribs are pulling together. We're sinking our chest through to back towards our thighs. Our biceps are rolling up towards the ceiling. Triceps are rolling down towards the mat. We're pressing firmly into the palms. Our fingers are spreading wide, and our ears are in line with our biceps. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. One more breath. Inhale. And then on your exhale, we're going to step our left foot forward in between our palms. Drop the right knee back, maybe onto that blanket. We're coming into this low lunge. So again, I want to have my hip right over my knee and the back, my left knee over my left ankle. Take an inhale here. Grab whatever props you need. Exhale. And then we're going to start to sit back towards our heel. Extend that left leg straight. Release the heel. Flex the foot. So you may need to slide that heel further a little bit more. And then sit yourself up so that you're propped up and your spine is long. Take a soft bend in that front knee, so don't lock out the knee. We just want a little bit of a micro bend here. And you can keep it even more bent if you like and just sort of like relax into it as much as you can, because this is a nice little hamstring opener here. And then again, the more that you flex your foot and pull your toes back, the more you're going to feel that in your calves. As you inhale, try to reach the chest forward. And then exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, we're going to bend into that front knee once again. You're going to take the bolster, the prop in your right hand, and place it on the inside of your left foot. Start to turn your shoulders to face the left side of your mat so your collarbone is broadened towards the side of the room. And then start to reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. We're finding this low lunge twist. And our left shoulder, we're trying to peel that open up towards the ceiling. And I want a really, really engaged arm here. So straight arm. Our hands are open wide, fingertips spread wide. Take an inhale breath. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, release. So we're taking this time we're taking that opposite, I'm going to turn to face this side so you can see me. We're going to take that modified side angle. So we're twisting in the opposite direction here. So this time our left hand comes down onto that block. We take our right shin and foot, like the bottom of our right leg, and angle it in towards the center of the mat. And then start to peel your shoulders and your collarbone open towards the side of the room. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Use opposite resistance here, your thigh going into your elbow and pushing your elbow into your thigh. And you should feel this right here in that inner groin region. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale. Inhale one more time. And then exhale, start to release. And we're coming back into a tabletop pose. So take your left knee to meet the right. And then start to walk your legs back straight. Walk your arms your hands towards the front of your mat. Bend your elbows to sit on your forearms, and then just slide your hips down, keeping your I'm trying to get this out of the way so you can see me. Keeping the tops of your feet on the mat, and then shift your elbows so that they're right underneath your shoulders. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Squeeze your thighs so that your knees lift off of the ground. Press the pubic bone into the mat and take the tailbone down towards your heels. So drawing that tailbone down towards your heels. And I like to sort of squeeze my butt so that that full bottom of my body is engaged. Pull the low belly in. And then drag your palms and your forearms towards your rib cage so that you can pull your chest through your shoulders and pull your shoulder blades back, almost like you're pinching them together. And then you can broaden the collarbones and then just keep your head and your chin in line with one another. We don't want to look up or down, just looking straight ahead. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. We're slowly going to start to rise back up into that tabletop pose. And then keeping your arms out in front of you, tuck the back toes under, start to lift the knees off of the mat, lift the hips high to the sky. We're coming back to that downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. I'm going to turn once again. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Okay, now, so we're going to keep going here. Start to step that right foot in between your hands to the front of your mat. Drop the left knee. So we're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to start to move on from there. And then grab whatever props that you have. We're going to come into that hamstring stretch. So start to sit back towards your heel and then slide your right heel forward So you straighten into that front leg, keeping that knee softly bent there. And then your hands come up on props so that you can have your back straight. And if you need a little bit more, start to wiggle that heel even further towards the mat. And then as you inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale, bend into that right knee. Take the block in your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Get the other one out of the way. And then we're going to try to find that twist. So start to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and roll the collarbones and broaden the collarbones and roll your shoulders towards the right side of the room. Finding that twist. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. One more breath here. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. We're taking the right palm onto the block on the inside of our foot. And then take the back of your leg, start to tilt it towards the inside of your mat, the center of your mat, and then start to roll the shoulders open towards the other side of the room, reaching the left arm up towards the ceiling. So this is a modified side angled pose. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, release. We're coming into tabletop pose. So remove the blocks out of the way. Take your knee back. We're starting to walk our hands forward. Shift our knees backwards. Come onto your forearms. And then your hips go all the way down. We're coming into Sphinx pose. So again, tops of the feet on the mat. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the quads so that your knee caps are lifted off of the ground. Press your pubic bone down in towards the mat, and take your tailbone down towards your heels. Start to drag your palms and your forearms back towards your rib cage to pull your chest through your shoulders. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. One more breath here. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. We're coming into that tabletop pose. Tuck the back toes under. Lift your knees off of the mat. And then press your heels back or your hips up into space. Coming into that downward facing dog. Sink your chest through your shoulders, back towards your thighs. Inhale through the nose. And out. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee down. Grab whatever props that you're using. We're going to set our hands on those props and then start to sit our butt back towards the back of our heel. Straighten into the front leg. The heel is flexed for that hamstring stretch. So I have a long spine here. Take an inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, bend into that front knee. Take the prop in your right hand and place it on the inside of your left foot. And then start to roll the shoulders open towards the side of the room. And then your left arm goes up. So we're twisting towards the bent knee, the left knee. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale, release. Place the left palm on that prop on the inside of your left foot. And then we're twisting in opposite directions here. So take the right leg and take your right foot and place it towards the inside of your mat. So we're angling that foot out towards the center of our mat. And then we're taking our right arm towards the ceiling, opening up our shoulders and our collarbones and our chest towards the other side of the room. Pressing the elbow into the thigh, and the thigh into the elbow. Take an inhale breath. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. Come back into the tabletop. Start to walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Drop your forearms. And then just slide your legs straight. Drop your hips down. Sphinx pose. Tops of the feet into the mat. Squeeze the quads. Squeeze the glutes. Take your pubic bone towards the mat. And your tailbone towards your heels. Drag your palms and your forearms towards your rib cage. Pull your chest through your shoulders. Take an inhale breath. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And then exhale, release. Come back into tabletop pose. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the heels off of the mat. And press back into downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale, step your left foot forward to meet in between your hands, and then drop that right knee down. Grab whatever props that you need. And then we're gonna sit back into that towards that heel, straighten the left leg, flex the foot. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale. Exhale, bend the front knee. Did we already do this side? I might be doing the wrong side. Well, anyway, hopefully I'm doing the right side. Place the block in your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Oh, I am doing it, aren't I? Well, whatever side I did, we just did do the opposite side. I'm so sorry. We're finding that twist here. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. So yeah, we actually should be on the side, huh? Inhale through the nose and exhale. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, release. We're opening our chest towards the other side of the room, placing our right, whatever hand on the inside. I'm so sorry. And take your left hand up towards the ceiling. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release. And we're coming into Sphinx pose. So return to tabletop. Take the forearms down towards the mat. Slide your legs straight. Pubic bone down into the mat. Tops of the feet on pressing into the mat. Lift your kneecaps off of the mat and drag your forearms and your hands, your palms back towards your rib cage. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, release. We are going to come back into tabletop pose and then just sit. We're going to make our way to seated on our butts. So get whatever you need out of the way. We're going to come to seated on our butts. I recommend getting a blanket and then folding it so it's kind of like this, and then sitting on it. So putting your tailbone onto that blanket. And what that actually helps you do is sit up a little bit straighter. So it raises it sort of like tips your pelvis, aids in tipping your pelvis forward. So our legs are straight out in front of us. And right now, this pose just alone, what it does is it actually helps strengthen your core, especially your back here. And you can kind of start to feel that where your back muscles are working here to keep your core straight, your spine straight. So this is called staff pose. And then we can take our arms to our sides and press our palms in towards the mat. If your arms don't reach, get those blocks or that the books, whatever you're using. But I have my arms at my side here. And that whole thing with like being able to reach the ground, that's nothing like based off of your flexibility or whatever. That's just your like anatomical structure. It's your bone structure. And like everybody's built differently. So you see some of those like crazy acrobats that can just like push their like selves up and like bring their knees underneath them. Like that's all like, of course that's core muscle, but it's also just like having really long arms. So a lot of us can't do that because our bodies are just not built that way. So that's why we use props, is to raise the ground to meet our hands so that we're anatomically, or so that our spine is, the integrity of our spine is maintained and we have a little bit more space to create for ourselves. So we're here in staff pose. I want you to reach your crown of your head towards the ceiling and start to reach your chest forward. So we're not going to curl over like this as we fold. We're just going to lead with our chest and slowly start to tip forward. Bend into the knees. You can even grab the backs of your knees here to start. And we're just going to start to lead with our chest, like we're pulling our chest forward rather than curling over like this. So leading with your chest, your knees are bent. You're actually grasping at the underside of your knees. And then start to see if you can bend into your knees so much that you actually, while your back is still straight, but your ribs are resting onto your thighs. And then maybe you reach for your and you literally may be like this, you know, this is wherever your body is, and just reach for your feet. So I want you to be at a point where your thighs are, or your chest and your ribs are resting in your thighs, and you're at a point where you can grab your feet. So you literally may be here, but again, our chest is still reaching forward. And then just start to wiggle, if you can, as you breathe deeply, start to wiggle your heels further out towards the front of your mat while keeping that straight spine. And as soon as you start to feel yourself curling like this, stop and then just stay there. So for me, this looks more like this. But I'm starting to curl right here, so I'm just staying right here. And then pull your feet towards, like use the strength of your hands to pull your feet towards you, and like press into your hands and press into your feet at the same time. So again, that opposite resistance. And see, my elbows are bent here. Your elbows may be like this. This is like total anatomical and how open your hamstrings are. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. One more breath, inhale through the nose. And then exhale, slowly start to rise. Start to bend the right knee and take the sole of the right foot on the inside of your left thigh. So you're sort of in this half butterfly here. And then if you need to have something resting under that thigh, grab the whatever prop that you need, like a pillow or that block, and just place it underneath the knee so that it's resting on something and you're not like, if it's like super strained, I recommend having something resting under that knee. And then we're going to sit up straight. Once again, we're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. And then again, leading with our chest, we're going to start to reach forward. You can start to bend into that extended leg and then grab our foot. But I want your shoulders to be facing that extended leg. So not like towards the center, but I want it towards the extended leg. And you're going to start to feel that on the right side of your back. And you can be a little bit curved here. So this is more of a back stretch than anything. You definitely may feel it in your hamstring, but it's more of a back stretch. So really pull your chest towards your thigh, and your chest towards your foot as much as you can. But you want to start to feel that on the right side of your back. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, slowly start to rise. Extend the right leg straight. And then start to bend that left knee and place the sole of the left foot on the inside of your right thigh. You can take that prop and rest your knee on it if you'd like, or you can just, if this is okay for you. We're going to start to straighten our back, reach our arms up towards the ceiling, turn our shoulders to face the extended right leg, and start to reach forward, reach, leading with the chest, and then grab the foot, grab the ankle. I'm going to start to bend into that front knee because my hamstrings are a little bit tight, and pull your chest towards your foot. And then fold as much as you can to the point where you feel the stretch in the left side of your back. Inhale through the nose, exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale, slowly start to rise. This time we're taking both legs into a butterfly. So the soles of our feet come together. And then I'm grabbing my ankles with my hands. So you can, again, have those props underneath. Like you can see how tight my hips are because my knees are like all the way up here, right? So grab something that you can rest your knees on. The whole point here is to stretch the inner groin by pulling our chest forward. So I'm not like hunched over like this. I'm pulling my chest forward by grabbing my ankles and pulling my chest and my torso forward. So you should feel this in the inner groin. You should feel this in the back. And then maybe you kind of start to fold a little bit forward. This is pretty much as far as I can go. And then you can take your elbows and start to press it into your thighs to like open up your the inner thighs even more to the sky. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale out. Start to release. Straighten the front legs. We are coming all the way onto our backs. Grab a firm pillow or one of those. Just grab both of the pillows. I'm going to put this to the side for now. We are going to revisit this later. And then start to scoot your butt forward to the center of your mat and lay back onto the mat with the soles of your feet flat onto the mat. And then take your feet about hips width distance apart. So that's like right in line with your knees and your ankles. I'm sorry, your knees and your hips. And then your knees are bent, and then try to see if you can scoot your butt forward towards your heels, and then maybe scoot your heels back towards your butt. So that when you reach down, you can actually graze your heels with your fingertips. And then take a firm pillow, lift your hips off of the mat, and place it underneath your sacrum. So that's not like on the butt cheek down here and like the tops of the hamstrings, and it's not in your low back here. It's actually right on that bony part of your butt, right where your sacrum is. It's kind of like almost right above your tailbone. Yeah, it's above your tailbone, but not on your low spine. So this is supported bridge pose. We're here for a moment. Take an inhale breath. Exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Supported bridge is a pretty gentle inversion, and all inversions is when your hips are over your heart. So right now my heart is actually lower than my hips, and that sort of just reverses the direction of your circulation, allows blood flow to the heart, and then start to take the heels off of the mat, so that your legs are about at a 90-degree angle here, and your hips are lifted off. And then start to straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. And for me, I'm going to actually grab the pillow or the bolster underneath me to sort of keep me stable. And then flex into the feet. This is called legs up the wall pose. And it just sort of allows blood to flow down towards the organs and towards your digestive tract, and takes a lot of that pressure off of the feet. We're upright all day long, so this is just a very restorative inversion pose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here, just letting the tingling sensation, bringing that awareness to that tingling sensation that's going on in your feet and your legs. Continuing to breathe deeply. One more breath here. Honey, it's okay, it's just your mom. And then exhale, slowly start to release. So bend the knees first. Honey, stop. And then slowly as you can, place the soles of your feet back onto the mat. Then you're gonna lift your hips off of whatever pillow or bolster that you have and keep them up there just for a moment. Take your hands, your palms facing down towards the sides of your body, and then see if you can lift your hips up even higher using the strength of your glutes and your quads. Make sure that the soles of your feet are pressing firmly into the mat to lift yourself up even higher. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale slowly, very, very slowly, start to release your back down towards the mat, very slowly, all the way down. Then start to draw the knees in towards the chest, pulling your knees towards the chest, and then wrapping your arms around your shins. Start to rock and roll side to side, maybe make circles with the knees to massage the low back. Breathing deeply through the nose. Maybe reversing the directions of the circle. And then take your arms wide towards the side of the room like a T, arms out like a T, so palms facing up. And then start to drop your knees over towards the left. Maybe they make it all the way down. Maybe you take a bolster or a pillow and place it underneath your knees if you can't get all the way there. But the goal is to keep both of our shoulders on the mat. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale, start to draw the knees back in towards the chest. Keeping your arms wide like a T. Shh, it's okay. And then start to drop the knees over to the right. And maybe you put that bolster underneath your knees so that if you can keep your left shoulder planted on the mat and have your knees all the way down, you can do that. But if your knees can't reach all the way down without your shoulder lifting off of the ground, then place the pillow or the block underneath your knees. Inhale through the nose. Shh, stop. And exhale out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, pull your knees back in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins one more time. Biggest inhale here. Suck as much air into your lungs as possible. And then as you exhale, release into that final resting pose. So your legs go straight out in front of you. Heels are on the mat. The outer edges of your feet are resting down towards the mat. Our arms come towards our sides. And then using the back of your head, press into the back of your head to lift your shoulder blades and then pinch them together and tuck them underneath you. And then press into your heels to lift your glutes off of the mat and then tuck your tailbone under so you sort of have a little bit of more release in that low back. So this is your final resting pose. Start to close your eyes. And let's just do a quick little scan of the body here. So now's a good time to check in with everything that you were noticing at the beginning of class. And maybe noticing how it feels maybe a little different. The body feels a little bit more open, more relaxed. And then the mind is just a little bit calmer, a little bit clearer. And then scanning the body from head to toe, is there anything that you are tensing? So if there's something that you're sort of keeping tense and holding on to, any muscle group or any grip of the fingers or the toes, just release that, relax it. Remove the crease. Stop, honey, stop. Remove the crease from the roof or from your brow, keeping the eyes fluttered shut. Your lips are slightly parted. Your tongue is removed from the roof of your mouth. Letting gravity do its work. Just fully relax the body into the mat. Let go of any breath control that you're doing. Just have your natural breath flowing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really enjoy this final relaxation. I encourage you to stay here as long as you want. 5 minutes is typically a really nice time, but this is the perfect time to enjoy all the benefits that come with yoga practices. I'm going to end the video, but please, again, stay here as long as you want. Thank you so much for joining me today. The next class will be Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And again, just stay here as long as you need. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you guys on Monday.